No one's coming. No one's coming, everyone. No one.
Yeah, this life is fucking me over, man. I could have had this and I should have had that. And why does this guy get that? And why does that guy get this? And all things that are completely unrelated to you. Yeah. All things that you find other people's success as a downfall in your own existence.
There's no one. There's no one. So when you know that,
is it live your life like you're the hero in your movie, and right now is when the fucking movie starts and your life is a shitbag disaster, like every fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he wakes up and makes a blender full of pizza and ice cream, and that's what he, you know what I mean? Yeah. Those guys were like on the brink, they put the gun in their mouth and they put it down because they see a photo of their daughter. Pretend that's you. Pretend you are, right now, you're in the part of the movie that starts and it shows you as a fucking loser, and just decide not to be a loser anymore.
Okay, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to forgo? Let me teach you the real life, how it really is. The reason why you're a loser, and the reason why you're not fucking making it, you're lazy, you know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it.
You battling yourself. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
Most people don't want it that badly, which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. Like this guy came in one time, I was a trainer, and he goes, man, I can stop doing anything but my frappuccinos. I go, fucking leave.
It's not on everybody else. It's on you. You have to make things happen. Nothing is going to be given to you.
You know, there's nothing more miserable than sitting around someone who's fucking complaining all the time. It is one of the most annoying things ever. Everybody hates it. When someone just sits around and they complain about their life and they don't do jack shit about it. And you tiptoe around it. You don't know what to say. Well, she gets upset when you bring that up. I don't want to bring that up. And you want to go, you fucking crazy bitch. You know what's wrong with your life. Yeah. Stop announcing it to everybody else and go out and fix that shit.
No one is coming to do the work for you. Nobody is coming to take responsibility for your dreams. Nobody is coming and gonna get that project done that you've been thinking about doing. No one is coming to grow your business, to heal your pain, to improve your marriage, or to make more money for you. It is up to you.
The mental approach that you have with life, and people not understanding that your biggest enemy is you.
It has always been up to you. Your life is your responsibility. Your dreams are your dreams, and that's a good thing because nobody can achieve your dreams but you.
Make your life a little bit harder in the short term and get somewhere.
Get serious. Life is serious. We call it life or death. And I'm asking you to take it serious. Take your own future serious. What you can do for your family, take it serious. This is serious business. Somebody asked me one time if I had a good description of life. I said, yes, I think I've got a good one. Life is the struggle to keep death at a respectable distance. Right? Death seems to want to move in prematurely. If you want to live a good, long, flourishing life, you got to push back. You can't just give in. You got to push back.
Life has to win every day. Death only has to win once.
It doesn't matter whether I achieve all of my goals or I don't achieve all of the goals. In 3 generations, I'll be forgotten, and the only people who were naysaying against me will also be dead. And so then it's like, just do it for me.
Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are.
Why is it that some people are more successful than others? Why is it that some people earn more money, they have better jobs, they get promoted more rapidly, they live longer, they have better health, they have happier relationships, and yet the great mass of men and women, by their own admission, live lives of quiet desperation?
Living the life that you don't want, not wearing what you want to wear, not dating who you want to date, not living where you want to live. Like you're living at home and you want to move and your parents say no and you don't make the move, or you're dating a girl because she's socially accepted, by your friend group, she's safe, but like there's always some distance in between you, but you're like, I don't want to risk it, right? Or like you're in the job and every day you go there and you're like, I mean, it's okay. And the idea of just living an okay life just sounds so terrifying to me.
I want you to do is think about something you want for you, that's real for you, that's important for you, that will give your life some special meaning and power.
The key to everything in life is knowing what you really truly love, what you were meant to do, why you were born, why you're a different individual. You know, I know it sounds like a cliche, but everybody, your DNA is unique. The way your brain is wired, the way your parents raised you, your early experiences, you are unique.
You have to decide what you're going to do, and you can take an easy path, and it's ultimately less fun. It's short money. Or you take a hard path and you give yourself a challenge, and it's great. And I think, you know, a lot of the times it's that thing of like, it's hard to do. Life is really, really tough.
A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks.
Today we were unlucky, but remember, we only have to be lucky once.
It's serious whether you win or lose. It's serious whether you succeed or fail. It's serious whether you've got a good future carved out for yourself or you do not have. These are serious matters. Matters of the heart are serious. Matters of income are serious. Matters of supporting your family, serious.
Given the fact that we're finite creatures surrounded by infinite complexity, the fears and worries and concerns that we have, while painful and completely illogical, are there for a reason. But the problem is that the reason is a few million years old. Human existence has never been as safe as it is now. So whatever problem it is that you're facing, it's probably not going to be an issue, and that you're going to deal with that issue even if it happens. You're here. You're listening to this right now. What does that say? It suggests that all of the challenges and the neuroses and the problems and the overthinking and the sleepless nights and all that stuff kind of didn't make much of a difference, because whatever it is that you came up against, you dealt with it.
You can decide at any age that you are going to pivot and turn in a new direction.
The major key to your better future is you.
To be somebody or to do something in life, there is often a roll call. That's when you will have to make a decision to be or to do. Which way will you go?
Learning to work primarily on yourself.
What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail, what one thing would you set as a goal for yourself? Because sometimes answering that question will tell you the one thing that you've been put on this earth to accomplish.
Here's how to get older without getting better. Keep relearning the same lesson. If you keep making the same mistake over and over, the mistake isn't the problem. You are.
If you are trying to battle the same boss over and over again, and you don't change what you're doing, and the boss keeps beating you, then it's not the game's problem. It's your problem. You are the problem. You're doing the wrong shit. Like, if you put all your inputs and the outputs haven't changed, then you have the same condition and the same behavior, and so you have learned nothing.
Exposure to information isn't learning. Repeated recall, not repeated exposure, right? You have to drag it out of memory and use it, not just see it a million times. And this is kind of the same thing with the lesson. It's, you can listen to any of the podcasts that exist on the internet, or the ones that we've done, or the ones that you love, or whatever. And if you don't apply anything, it's a waste of time. And this is...
Unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got.
And I remember reading, like, it was probably like my 10th book in a row, and I realized that the words in that book contradicted like the second self-help book that I, one was like, it's all about goals. The other one's like, it's all about taking, steps or whatever it was, right? And I all of a sudden I was like, my life is the same. I've read all these books, but I still literally live in the exact same condo in Baltimore doing the same job. Like, nothing has changed. And so I just made the commitment that whatever the next book that I was going to read, I would just not read another book until I'd done everything in that book.
The man says, well, if it isn't going to change, how will my life ever change? Answer, when you change.
Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
You could continue to wish or to hope or to want things to change, but the only thing that will make your life change is when you work for it. When you realize that there is nothing that you can change about what's happened in the past, but you can make a decision to take responsibility for who you become and what you achieve in the future.
I used to say, I sure hope things will change. Right? That seemed to be my only hope. If it isn't going to change, I'm in serious trouble. And then I discovered it isn't going to change, so I'm in serious trouble.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing.
Let me tell you something about nature. Nature never allows you to fall on your face if you take risks. Never. It goes like this. If you laugh, you risk appearing to be a fool. If you weep, you risk appearing to be sentimental. If you reach out for another, you risk rejection. If you love, you risk not being loved in return. If you place your dreams in front of the crowd, as we do, you risk ridicule. If you go forward in the face of overwhelming odds, you risk failure. But risk must be taken, for the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, has nothing, does nothing, is nothing. That person may avoid suffering, pain, and embarrassment, but that individual will not learn, grow, feel, love, or change. Only the person who takes risks is truly free.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it.
A lot of people, it's hard to imagine, but you have to learn how to fail.
And obviously I wanted to be a writer. I thought when I was 18 in my drug days that I would be a wild novelist. You know, that was my real dream. I still am kind of a failed novelist, so to speak. And so I tried, as I've told people before, I tried many different types of writing. I tried journalism. I hated it. I failed at it. It wasn't a good fit. I tried writing novels, bumming around Europe with a backpack. I failed at that. I came back to LA, tried to be a screenwriter. I failed at that.
Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb.
It's like when I was losing 106 pounds in 3 months, the first 2 months or first 2 weeks, it's like I was gaining weight. You know, I would lose a pound, gain 2. So I was just failing. I kept failing and kept failing and kept failing. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast.
Learn from your own experiences. One way to learn to do it right is do it wrong. I mean, you know, that's one way to learn to do it right. Do it wrong. Now the key is don't let it take too long.
The difficult is going to come in life. No matter what it is that you're trying to do, no matter how optimized you've got your day and your life, the difficult is going to arrive. You want to be able to greet it like an old friend. You want to invite it through the door and then lean into it because you know that this is exactly why you've been training. You don't want the difficult to come in and for you to not be prepared.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
For things to change for you, you've got to change. Otherwise, it isn't going to change.
Know that if you have big goals and big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that?
The last 6,000 years reads like this: opportunity mixed with difficulty. That's how it reads. It isn't going to change.
If you think about every single year of your life as a mile marker, and the fact that we all start at 0, we all end at some point. When you think about your life as a road trip and you're the driver, that means it's about navigating where you go next. And at any single moment, you can pull over, stop the damn car. Like if you feel lost, if you feel turned around, if you have hit a dead end, do not find your way by continuing to drive in circles. Stop for a second, assess where you are, tune back into the navigation system that is inside you, and you can turn your life in a new direction.
And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, people are like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you this fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes.
When you got an idea you want to move on, you might not have the money, you might not have the education, you might not have the support or the resources you need. What is that something that can keep us going, that will enable us to act on our dream? What's one of those keys that will begin to help us to discover the secrets to our dream? That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible. Just say that every day to yourself, it's possible.
But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you got to have an unlimited supply of fucking fuck you. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody.
And if you're scared as you look to the future, I don't know how I'm going to grow this business, I don't know how I'm going to improve my life, I want to tell you something. There is no reason to be scared. The only reason to be scared is if you're not doing the work to get what you want in life. The only reason to be scared is if you are paralyzed in your thinking, because it is very simple to identify the work that you need to do to improve any area of your life.
There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut.
This is what the fuck it takes. And you gotta get it from wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life or this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, it's gotta be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you gotta pull it out.
The only way it gets better for you is when you get better.
When you were born, you are a phenomenon. You are unique. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe, going back billions of years. It will never occur in the future.
We are all born. The second you come out and into this world, you are hardwired with this natural intelligence that is your own personal inner compass. And that it is tuned into what is unique to you. It is constantly programmed by the experiences of your life, but it is always signaling toward what is uniquely aligned for you.
I get so many emails, people telling me, I don't know what my life's task is. I can't figure out what my purpose is. Can you help me? Can you help me? Look for the signs of things that excite you in a way that you can't even really control. Because we live in a culture that is so damn rational. Everything is an algorithm. Everything is generated by data. But this is a feel. This is not data. This is a feel. This is an intuition. This is something that excites you in an intuitive way. And there's no algorithm in the world that I could invent or any genius could invent to help you find that. It's a feel. It's subtle. It's inside of you. But if you can't go inside of yourself, if you're so not into looking into who you are, all the advice in the world will be useless.
Your heroes aren't gods. They're just regular people who probably got good at one thing by neglecting literally everything else. Family, diet, rest, social life. Some of the best business guys on the planet. I don't want their blood pressure. Okay, so is the price of the blood pressure worth the price of the successful company? Well, that's what you need to do.
Successful people are those who do things differently from unsuccessful people.
It's a sacrifice of the present for something better in the future.
We do not have enough individuals in this world. We do not have enough weirdos. We do not have enough people who are happy to be unique and different. You are one of a kind, right? So that is your source of power. To waste that is just the worst thing you can do in your life. And what the power is finding that uniqueness. What makes you you?
You or anybody can be far more successful at life or at anything that you want if you do not have clear goals for your life. You are condemned forever to work for those who do. You see, in life it's very simple. Either you are working toward the accomplishment of your goals or you're working toward the accomplishment of other people's goals.
Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, my dad was a bad motherfucker. He really did what he had to do. Wow, my mom really got her shit together.
Well, you know, being a human being is not easy as opposed to an animal because we're born and nobody gives us like a direction.
A lot of people say, oh, I just want to sort of, they're kind of dabbling in the idea of improving themselves. And the real way to do it is you got to write down what the fuck you want and then go after it. Because otherwise you live in sort of a wishy-washy world.
It's going to be about like it's always been. It isn't going to change.
Like life is a game. Get out there and be active.
The moment to moment of almost anything you're doing is a grind. It is only upon completion, in reflection, where you can see the glory.
I blame no one. I look in the mirror. On the other side of it, what an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives.